Hey, check out what I found at an Apple store on a random Friday morning. Hey, I'm Jerry, and yes, it is iPhone 13 day, and this is the brand new iPhone 13 mini in product red. Now, I have to say that this is probably the iPhone 13 that I am most excited about to try out. I love the mini form factor. I love this new product red color. I can't wait to open this thing up. Last year with my iPhone 12 mini review, I stated that it was my favorite iPhone ever. I love the small form factor. I love how it feels in the hand. I like how easy it is to slide in and out of your pocket and just how compact it is in just daily use. And no, it didn't have all of the great camera features of the Pro last year, or especially the Pro Max. But this year, there's some really good upgrades to the camera and the display and the battery life. And this iPhone 13 mini may just become my favorite iPhone ever. So I guess let's just go ahead and get it unboxed and, get a first impression. This year, the iPhones do not come wrapped in plastic like they have basically every previous year. And so I was curious how they kept the box from opening because I don't think I've seen anybody open the box, but there are these little tabs here that allow you to open the box. So let's go ahead and open those guys. And we should be able to pop this box right open. And, oh man. You see that? That is a product red phone. It's not like the product red phone from last year, which was not product red. This is like the product red from the iPhone SE, which was amazing. This is the color that a product red should be. It is a deep, dark red, and it looks amazing. In fact, I am so excited about this color of product red iPhone that I didn't even bother to buy a case for it this year. This iPhone is probably going to be the first iPhone ever that I've used that I plan on not using a case at all. For better or worse, I think it's probably going to be for worse, but I want to use this phone as is, show off the color, and get as much enjoyment out of it as I possibly can. All right, so underneath the iPhone, we of course have a USB-C to Lightning cable, some documentation, and the normal stickers and whatever. Very basic packaging. It's getting smaller every year. And I'm sorry, I just cannot get over the color of this product red phone. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. I think I want to marry it. It is that nice. And look at these cameras. These cameras are so much bigger than the cameras on the iPhone 12 mini and pretty much all of the iPhones 12 from last year. But on the front, there it is. There's that beautiful screen. On the left, we have the volume buttons and the mute switch. On the right, we have the Siri button, power, whatever switch. And on the bottom, we have our lightning connector and speaker and microphone. Now, with the cameras on the back being larger, one thing that is slightly smaller on the front is the notch. It's about 20% smaller, Apple says, of a notch on the front of the iPhones this year. Which, I don't even see the notch anymore in regular daily use, but I guess it's nice that it's not as wide. I think it is just a tad bit taller, so as far as extra screen real estate, there's really not going to be much difference. Yeah, so compared to the iPhones 12 of last year, you can see that the speaker, the earpiece, was kind of in the middle of the notch, and now it's moved way to the top. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's like a metal bezel all the way around the earpiece at the top. It looks really nice, really refined. Now, as far as the iPhone 13 mini this year goes, it looks very similar to the iPhone 12 mini, but it's a very different phone, right? Inside you have this brand new A15 chip, which is a 6-core CPU, which has 4 efficiency cores and 2 high-performance cores, and a 4-core GPU. The screen this year also gets a big update on the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, equaling the iPhone 12 Pro screens of last year, with a brightness up to 800 nits in regular use and up to 1200 nits in HDR brightness. And that's really good. I did a comparison last year showing the brightness differences between the 12 mini and the 12 Pro last year, and there was a decent amount of difference out in direct sunlight. So being able to get that same amount of brightness this year on the 13 and 13 mini is a big step up. And besides that big step up upgrade in brightness of the iPhone 13 mini, which is a big upgrade, you actually get the same 5.4-inch display, the same 2:1 contrast ratio, True Tone, haptic touch, P3 wide color, so it's a really good display. As far as the weight goes, it's supposedly a few grams heavier than last year's iPhone 12 mini, which unfortunately I don't have anymore. But compared to the iPhone 12 Pro, of course, with a case, it's significantly lighter, so that's a really not a good comparison. But it does feel really nice. It doesn't feel overly heavy. I still just love the feel of the Mini. I mean, it just feels good in your hand. Like, it's not going anywhere. You have a good grip on it. And you know this thing will just slide easily in and out of your pockets. So I'm super excited, like I said, to make this my primary device, at least for a while, and see how that goes without a case. So besides the smaller notch on the front, I don't think that there's any real difference to the front-facing camera, the true depth camera that unlocks the phone. I think it unlocks the same speed, which is fast enough for pretty much every situation. But unfortunately, there's still no like center stage feature like on the new iPads that would allow, you know, the camera to automatically move around to find you in frame or to add additional people, get wider or shrink in as needed. But on the back, you do get that brand new camera system, that brand new wide 12 megapixel 1.6 aperture lens and the brand new ultra wide 2.4 aperture lens. And not only are the sensors bigger and the aperture wider, you actually get sensor shift technology in the wide angle lens, just like you got on the iPhone 12 Pro Max last year, which gives you in-body stabilization, which should make for better, more clear photos when you're actually moving around. Like if you're trying to take a picture as you're walking, or take a picture of a kid or a dog or whatever as you're chasing it around the house. That should result in better stabilized photos and videos. Now, of course, it is gonna take some time to actually use the cameras to get a good feel of how they actually perform. But one of the new features this year is photographic style. So inside the camera app, we can tap that, and you can actually change how your photos look. Not just a filter that goes on a single photo, but how all of your photos are taken. So if you want something that's more cool or warm or vibrant, you can do that. And of course, you can actually change that as well. So if you want vibrant and you want vibrant cool, you can do that. And then every one of your photos taken will have that same effect applied to it. And Apple is actually really smart about it too, because that thing doesn't really apply to everything. Apple does some machine learning on the fly to figure out what it should apply to. So it's not gonna mess up your sky, it's not gonna mess up your skin tones, it's just gonna make other things in the photo really pop or make them cooler or whatever your settings are. The other big feature for the cameras on the iPhone 13 is this brand new cinematic mode, which basically allows the camera to do some automatic focus racking using AI to figure out exactly what you might wanna be looking at in the scene. And it kind of does like a portrait mode for video to automatically find different things in the scene and switch between the focus and blur out other things that shouldn't be in focus. And you know what? Don't mind my messy office. You know, this is where I work. So I don't come to your office and complain about yours. Anyway, there's some really good demos of it already out there on the YouTube. So definitely check those out and I'll see if I can come up with something neat for my review video. But I'm pretty excited to try that out and actually have some people in this shot instead of just random junk on my desk. So beyond cinematic mode, all of the cameras should get benefits, including the front for the brand new Smart HDR 4. Now, the other big feature about this iPhone 13 mini is going to be the battery life, because the one reason I couldn't keep using the iPhone 12 mini last year, even though it was my favorite iPhone ever, was that I simply had battery anxiety when using it. Even though I was home almost all of the time, I still felt like I needed to charge it throughout the day. With the new iPhone 13 mini, we should get up to an hour and a half of extra battery life compared to last year, which is crazy. That might be just enough to tip it over the edge to make this phone last all day without that battery anxiety, which again, could make this my favorite iPhone ever. But who knows? We're gonna have to test out the camera and the battery and the durability over the next few days and weeks and see how this thing holds up, because I'm not putting a case on this guy. Nobody puts product red iPhone 13 mini in a corner. No. So like I said, let me know if you have any questions about the 13 mini and let me know in the comments below, or you can ask me on Twitter and I'll probably post some updates about the process and testing on there as well. So anyway, sub and thumb, and I'll see you next time.